This is the Codex app, and I have tweaked it a little bit so it's not in the dark, so it doesn't use the dark theme, it uses the light theme. For a long time I used the Codex CLI and all of the Codex plugins in all of the IDEs, but it actually has a separate app, and it's very cool, and if you haven't used it before, then definitely check it out. It feels a little bit like OpenClaw, because you can add automations, you can add scheduling. It doesn't have a memory per default. You can enable the memory, but per default it's turned off. But first of all, you install it by going to ChatGPT, then download, and then you can download the Codex app, both for macOS and Windows. There's no support for Ubuntu right now. You can also download it as an app for your phone. And the cool thing about doing that is that then it actually really works. It works really well together with your phone. So that means that you always have your automations, for instance, by your hand. And that's also why I think it feels a lot like OpenClaw or BetterClaw. It does not run locally, it runs up in the cloud, so it's except for automations. Actually, the automations right here, those are set up by using it runs locally. So that's how the automations work right now. So okay, after installation, the first thing that you want to do is that you can add your projects. So you can run under a project context. So when you have a new chat like this one right here, where I'm asking if there's a Ubuntu support, then you can actually choose which context it should use, and then you can switch the context right here. I have the context inside my application, so this is my project I have right here. So when I press new chat, then I can choose which project that I want this chat to work for. I can also just say don't work in a project if I just want to chit chat with it or ask it for the weather forecast and something like that. And that actually brings me to a thing that you want to do. You wanted to add You should add your local location in your agent.markdown file. That I've already done that right here. I can also ask it to please read me the global agent.markdown file. There's if you don't know, inside the codex.codex folder, then there's an agents.markdown file that will actually be used to all of your prompts. So location is a good thing to add, because then you can always ask when is the local the nearest recycling station, when is that open, so then you can drive all your trash there. You can ask it for weather forecast, and it already knows where you are, so it knows that context. And of course, you can add more stuff to it as well. And actually, in many situations, this feature is actually much better to use than to use memory, because if you add the memory feature, then you don't decide. What should actually be stored inside the memory. It will just take whatever seems to be the output from each prompt. So the downsides and upsides of using memory. I don't like to use memory. I like to choose what it should, which context it should store. And it's very easy to store. You just make a prompt and you say, please store my location to the agents.markdown file, and place it in wherever folder it is needed. Right now, I did not have to know that I had to put it in the .codex folder in my home directory. It actually just did that for me automatically. You need a lot of plugins to make this be a success and to make this feel right. And the plugins that I've added right here, I've added my Gmail and my calendar. And of course, it feels a bit unsafe at first, because of course, if Codex app is hacked or something like that, or if you are using a hacked model that does something really, really malicious, then of course you can get in trouble if it can delete all of your mails that you actually want to store, or if it can add weird stuff in your calendar, if it can read. Maybe you also have some secret stuff in your mails and your calendar that shouldn't go out to everybody. Then all of that can actually be accessed if you come into that situation. I've used it now for some time without having any problems with it. You can also add Google Drive. You can add all of your usual applications, and then you can just use this chat application as an entry point, also for Teams, Slack, etc. The more plugins that you add, the more value you will get from this app right here. And when I say this Codex app right here, of course you can use other alternatives. You can use like OpenClaw that I talked about in the beginning, which only runs locally. You can also use Claude, the Claude app, and there are a lot of apps out there. And it's difficult actually to choose because they get new features every week sometimes, and of course they are kind of copying each other also. So when one of these apps get a new feature, then the other apps gets it usually right after. So it doesn't matter right now which app that you are using and which entry point you're using. And also cost-wise, it usually doesn't matter because if you're using the same model and or your token and the token provider, the model provider, then of course you're paying the same usually for when you're placing a prompt. But they're all very good, and I think they're all equally good actually right now. But again, feel free to swap around between the models. I'm using the default ChatGPT 5.5 model right here, right now. And I'm using all the default settings for how fast it should work and for how it should reason. Another thing is, go to the plugins first. Add all of the plugins add the plugins for the tools that you usually use if you want to get maximum value out of it. I've also enabled YOLO mode. That is a little bit dangerous because it can then do stuff without you asking you, but it also makes it much more productive. So so right now I've given it. I actually configured the config.toml file manually, and I made a video on how to do that. So watch that if you don't know how to do that. If you don't want to know how to do that, then you just ask, and then just ask Codex to please edit and change it for you. Here's full access, and then we have right now it's custom, and that is the YOLO mode. It should still ask if it's something. If it tries to delete files, then it will still ask me. Yes. Okay, so we have the projects right here. Those are the project-related prompts right here, and then we have the chit-chat for a lot of weird stuff. And then we have something called automations. Automations are really cool. They're awesome because here I can get a daily summary of my emails and of the calendar. And I can also set it up to actually give you the weather forecast every morning. So I find that very useful. The automations right here. I only have one automation right now. I kind of still like to be in control of what is going on, so I don't have any automations that would actually look for, maybe it could look for uncommitted code in my projects. That could be another good use case, but it's only your imagination that sets the limit right there. So plugins, automations, and then the settings. So the next step is to go to the settings, because there are so many settings right here, and some of them you would actually like to set, like the default IDE. I use IntelliJ. Some people use VS Code, and the default is VS Code. And the integrated terminal shell right now is PowerShell, which is the one that works the best, I think, for Windows. For Linux, then it's like Bash or OMC shell. Again, right here, there are so many settings right here. Dictation, there's a shortcut key for that. My accent is quite strong, so it gets sometimes a lot of times it actually translates my beautiful voice into something that I did not say. So I actually prefer to write and type the prompts instead of just dictating it. But you can set a hotkey right here, and then you can just press that, and then you can just speak into the microphone, and then of course you don't have to type anything. Appearance right here, you can choose among a lot of themes. And per default, it is set to follow the system. So if you have a dark system, then you also have a dark theme right here. I've increased the UI font size right now because I wanted to use this for demo purposes also. Then we have configuration, approval policy. Okay, you can actually set it directly right here. The approval policy right here. That is the YOLO mode. You only live once. And sandbox settings right now. Here has access to all of the files on the computer. And you can also diagnose. This is actually quite normal with these systems. It's sort of like with OpenClaw. you can diagnose if there's anything wrong, and that's because they have actually become so complex, and you can and sometimes they, even though they say that they're backwards compliant, then maybe you made an automation, or maybe you made something in your TOML file, the config.toml file, which is suddenly not supported any longer, so you can end up in a weird situation. And if you run the diagnose, then that can be fixed. Those issues can actually be fixed. And there's also reset and install workspace. That's because you can tweak so many weird things that you can you can end up in a situation where you have to, where it is faster to reinstall it than it is actually to try to figure out what is actually wrong. And users and billing, that's quite good. Then I can see right now I'm using the Plus plan, so I can use as much as I want or not as much. There's a time limit, so right now for the 5 hours usage, I still have 88% left. I've actually found that quite well. It actually fits my needs for now at least. You can also pay as you go, and then you can put in some credits. So you can also give it access to your browser, so let Codex control the built-in browser. That's also quite good. I think even if you turn this off, it would still use a search service, so it can still search the web. And this actually replaces your usual search. Maybe you use DuckDuckGo, or maybe you use Google to search on the web. But this actually replaces a lot of your searches. You can just start up a prompt instead, and then usually this the AI will usually give you a much better answer than any of the search engines will give you, because it actually uses reason instead of just giving us a plain search result. Compute use disabled. Manage how the Codex can use other applications on your computer. Right now that is turned off. But of course you can also turn that on, so it can actually use the applications directly. Work trees and Git. Git, they have introduced this term called work trees, so you can actually have in your branch, then you can still have multiple work trees, and of course then whenever you merge something, then you can truncate all of your work trees if you want to. Environments, this is how your project is set up, and per default is actually you can set up how it should the setup script, what should be run per default. But actually, if you leave this blank instead, then the AI will actually figure this out much better than what you write right here. And this could also, of course, it can be different among different operating systems. And if you want to be very specific, then of course you can just type it in right here. Then the AI knows exactly how it should be set up. Also, when you want to clean up, then you can tear down your Docker, for instance, and remove the running containers. So that is actually it. If you haven't tried it out, definitely try it out. I have just also been playing with the Jira or with the Atlassian plugin, and I will make another video on that. It is also quite cool that you can actually sit and create user stories for that. I have this scrumprompts.com, where you can go actually find prompts for Scrum-related prompts, and also for Jira, and that's actually very, very useful. So then I can go, if I want to get a good daily Scrum, then I can set the sprint goal right here, and I can also set the board state, and I can write all of these things in right here. Then I can copy that, and then I can paste it into the Codex app. Of course, I can also download them as skills and then just plug them in. Then I don't have to go to this website right here. But what I like about this website right here is that I have everything right here. So whenever I have to set up multiple, when I'm switching between PCs, for instance, and when maybe one of my PCs is not set up with the same app, with the same AI app, then I can still go here, and then I can get my prompts right away, and then just paste them, copy paste, and then run inside my chat like this. As a Scrum Master, please do this, and then I can press enter, and that's how that works. Okay, but thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for all of your comments. That's it, and I hope to see you again soon. AI is cool, Codex app is awesome, and all of the other are also awesome. Yes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.